Hey kids, welcome to Unit 7, Lesson 4, Private Methods. Exercise number 5. We're going to go ahead and do A today, soda machines. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what we have to do. The soda machine class represents a soda machine with multiple types of sodas. It has instance variables for the list of soda objects that are sold in each of the soda machines and a price for each soda. The soda class represents a type of soda and has instance variables for the number of sodas available. We are going to write the private method, get total sodas, in the soda machine class to calculate and return the total number of sodas available in the inventory array. We're going to write the public method, get total cost method, in the soda machine class to calculate and return the total cost of all sodas available in the soda machine. And then the soda runner class, we're going to call the get total cost method and then print the results. This is another lesson where we've already learned the fundamental concept, public and private. It's an access and scope problem. Today's lesson deals with what are called helper methods. These are methods within a class that do work that aren't accessible outside of the class. This just might be something you don't want your customer or user to see, and just something that doesn't need to be known. So it can be done on the back end without anybody knowing. And then we're going to use a public method to call and get that data within it to display to the user. Let's go over to Soda Machine. You can see we have an array soda inventory and double price. We have our soda machine constructor, taking the two above instance variables. This returns a 1D array of all the sodas, the price. Then we have to write a private method to get total sodas, to get the total number of sodas that are in a soda machine. And then we're going to calculate the total cost and return it. We don't ever want the outside person to know how many cans are in there. We just want to know how much total is in there. Let's write our private method. This is going to return the total number of something. That sounds a lot like an integer. We're not going to return any half cans. And this is going to be private. So we're going to say private int get total sodas. We need to return a total sum. So that means I'm going to make a variable to store that. We'll call it int sum equal to 0. That also means we're going to need to return a sum at some point. Now, if we go through our inventory variable here, I bet if we go through this inventory array here, we can go through and we can call this get quantity to give us the quantity that we have in our machine. So that means we'll just loop through the inventory array, and at each index, just get the quantity and then add it and then return that sum at the end. Pretty simple. We'll have a for loop. You can do this with an enhanced loop much easier. I'm just going to do a regular for loop here. I'm going to say int I equal 0 as long as I is less than the inventory dot length. We're going to go through I plus plus. Now we just need to get the quantity at each one. So sum is going to plus equal the, we're going to go through the inventory array. At each index, we're going to get quantity. Get quantity is a method, need parentheses. We have our semicolon. We're going to get outside the loop and then return sum. Well, that's my first one. Let's go down to my second one here. In here, I have to write the public method, get total cost, which will calculate and return the total cost of all the sodas. If you remember, we have a get price method right here. So if we get the quantity or the total sodas, multiply it times price, we should get the total cost. What's that look like? There's going to be a public access. We're going to be doing multiplying. Probably means we're going to end up with a double. So our data type should be double. We'll get total cost. And then we're going to return the get total cost method times price. Well, that's it. My public method is calling the private method above in order to complete its task. That's why it's called a helper method. It's helping complete the public method. And we're just using that method to multiply times price. Well, that's it. We still have one more thing to do. Well, let's go back to Soda Runner. We have to call our method system.out.println. And we're going to say total cost of the soda. I'm going to say pop. I'm from Ohio. And then we'll go, we have our machine object there. From the machine object, we're going to call that get total cost method that we wrote over here. Well, that'll access this method that's helping to finish this method. Well, let's see, we spelled wrong, kids. Oh, let's go back here. We're calling that method, kids. We need to call our get total sodas. Calling the wrong method, kids. How silly is that? Let's clear and hit run. And there you go. When we call the right method, we get the right answer. And we use private methods much like we use private instance variables. We don't want to change too much of the original blueprint, so we limit the access that the user has, much like we're doing here. And this is just another good example of abstraction. The user doesn't need to know all of the steps that go into getting the total cost of the inventory. They just need to know the method to call it. Hopefully you found this video helpful, kids. As always, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. See you later, kids. Bye, bye, bye.